People up on the bank there, just before we start, once we've done the first part of the display, we're going to bring those barriers down here, and they're going to go across there and across the back there. There might be some glass still on the floor, so if you've got flip-flops or very thin-soled shoes on, we'll sweep up as much as we can, but please be careful when you come down onto the concrete area here. There may be still some little bits of glass there, so just watch where you're stepping. So as I say, welcome to the first of the public order displays today. So we're going to just talk you through the Kent Police response to public disorder. Unfortunately, we don't have any full-time public order officers because we don't need them. So that's always good news, the fact that we don't need them in the first place. But occasionally, either in Kent or because there's the capacity of other forces doesn't match the threat that's happening at the time, we have to send officers out the county. So we train 400 officers in Kent at the moment, drawn from lots of different departments all over the county, and that's regular officers as well as the special constabulary. So we train them to use the equipment that we provide and shields and the tactics to try and control public disorder. So the first person we got here, Sergeant Tom McCall from Medway. Big round of applause for Tom, please. Thanks very much. So Tom's just going to demonstrate the equipment. So first of all, we start there with that NATO helmet on that's got the visor that comes down over his face and some neck protection on the back, just some padding on the back that's reasonably flexible so we can still move his head around. Underneath that, he's got like a balaclava on. That's a flash hood, because sometimes when we're dealing with petrol bombing and the like, sometimes petrol vapour can get up between his face and the visor, and it will cause a flash of fire just inside his visor there. So to stop his skin getting burnt on his face, he wears that balaclava. So moving down then, he's got his stab vest on there, he's got his body armour, and attached to that are those hard plastic pads that stop blunt trauma, so things like bricks and bottles, that kind of thing, it will protect against those. He's then got leather gloves on, and then moving down further, he's got groin protection, thigh protection, lower leg protection, and he's got steel toe cap boots with steel shanks running through the soles as well. Now normally, of course, he would cover up that top half with a jacket as well. The overalls that we wear are made of a fabric called Kermel, which basically doesn't burn very easily, and any moisture that gets on it will be repelled and rolled off. So any petrol that ends up on those overalls will roll off. Okay, so he's got a polycarbonate baton there. That's what we issue to our public order officers. It's just a solid polycarbonate baton. And then on his other arm there, he's got the Armadillo Intermediate Shield, and that is part of a system really of shields that can fit together. So on the back plate there's kind of a lip, and on the side there's a gutter. So on those gutters we can put those shields together and lock them in place so that we can form a kind of a polycarbonate wall, if you like. And then the lip on the bottom of the back plate allows us to put one shield on top of another shield as well and lock them in together. So that is the basic kit and equipment that we provide our level 2 officers that are dealing with serious urban disorder. So we have various specialist officers involved in public order as well. And the first is modelled here by Sergeant Adam Duke, again from Medway. Big round of applause for Adam, please. So he's wearing exactly the same kit and equipment as Tom was, but he's got the added addition of the Enforcer. So you've probably seen that on the TV cop shows, used to greater or lesser extent on those. And that's weighs around about 16 kilos, so it's a considerable addition to his already heavy equipment. And then in his other hand, he's got the Halligan Bar. It's actually called the Halligan Bar. It was developed by a New York fire officer, and basically it's got loads of different attachments on it for getting entry to buildings, whether that's outward opening doors, inward opening doors, through windows, etc, etc. So that's the basic method of entry kit that we teach our level 2 officers to use. Thanks very much, Adam. So another specialist that we have is our evidence gathering teams. So they are teams of public order trained officers who are also trained to use what are now quite nice small compact video cameras that are very high definition, very high resolution, and actually provide some really, really good evidence of offences that occur during dynamic public order displays, public order incidents. So it's not always going to be possible to arrest people who are doing bad things at the scene of public disorder, so it really helps us out to be able to identify people and identify offences post-event so that we can bring them to justice after the event. Thanks, Kelvin. So next, finally, we've got our nurses, our public order medics. So they're very, very highly trained medics. And we've got 32 of them in Kent at the moment. They will go with our police support units wherever they go, and they'll provide the first line of medical response to any injured officers or members of the public that take part in that kind of serious urban disorder. So again, very well equipped. The medic vest that he's got on there has got all types of medical equipment in it, so that they can provide that first line of protection to people that get injured. Because of course, quite understandably, the ambulance service are loath to send unprotected paramedics into the scene of either firearms incidents or public order incidents, so we have to provide that first line of response in order we can help people and give them the best chance to survive at least. Thanks very much, Wendy. Okay, so we spoke about the protective qualities of the equipment that we give our officers. So we're going to just demonstrate now the confidence in the kit and equipment that we have, and that is we're going to put down a couple of petrol bombs on the concrete area here, and Tom is going to walk through that and demonstrate the correct procedure for walking through that without a shield. So we've got Dave here, he's going to put down some petrol bombs. Carl is his safety officer. Because even for training we want to make it as realistic as possible, but we also need to make it as safe as possible, because the last thing we want is anyone to get injured in a training scenario. Okay then, so away you go. So as Tom comes forward, he recognises the threat from the petrol bombs, he shouts out petrol so that any of his colleagues will know that that's there. And as you see, when he came through, there was still some burning petrol on the bottom of his pads and on his boots. That's quite usual for that to happen. It is just the petrol vapour that's burning. And but the kit and equipment has protected him from getting hurt any further than that. Okay, thanks very much, Tom, good work. Okay, so to demonstrate some of those tactics that we use, we're going to just run through a short scenario now. So anyone that you see in a camouflage type jacket, like that over there, they're going to be the baddies. So make sure you give them a big boo. Thanks very much, good. So something's happened in this house, we don't know what yet, and there's been a big fight that's happened inside, and one person is now getting beaten up by some other people. The police have been called and are about to respond, so let's see what happens. Oh, here they come, look. Bringing him out on the street. Okay. So the police respond, and as they come round the corner, they take stock of what they can see. And now our priority is to make sure that the person on the floor gets some medical attention. So as they come forward, they're met by the two people with pickaxe handles who are quite intent on them not getting there. So as you can see, the officers are followed up by our medical team, and once they've got a sterile area to work in, then the medics are going to recover this person who needs that immediate medical attention. So they grab hold of him, it's not safe to treat him here, so they're going to take him back to a place of relative safety, covered by the officers with shields. So that's our first priority out of the way, making sure that the person receives some immediate medical attention. So well done. So our next priority now is to arrest the people that have done this. So the officers just formulated a plan, and they're going to move forward towards the house to go in and arrest our two offenders as quick as they can. But while that's happening, they bring out some petrol bombs. So the officers are going to confront the petrol bombers. Petrol! Warning one another that there's petrol coming in so that everyone's aware of it. Good work, so they push them back, and as they push them back, the offenders run into the house and lock the door. Okay, so now we've got a locked iron or metal grate on the door. We've got the front door that's massive on its own, and we've got to somehow get into this house to safely arrest the people that have done this. So we're just going to have a short break now while we just sweep up the glass from the concrete area here, and then we're going to move the barriers down. So bear with us for a moment while we just get ready for the next part, the assault on the house.
Right, yeah. Of course.
Alright. Hold on to a barrier, what the fuck? I don't know my phone
Huh?